Welcome back in the place to be with the CBDC Assets Group. Thank you all for being a part of the group. Today we got a big one talking about 15-minute cities. We're going to talk about who's governing these cities. Got some good ones for you. Canadian Parliament and their thoughts on the unified ledger and Ripple's importance in that. We also got a subscriber's video he sent in that I think is right on. The only thing is it talks about the race for national supremacy in the CBDC stablecoin market. I don't necessarily believe that it's a race. I'll share my thoughts on why it's not. And also how it connects to the narrative that's being pushed for everybody and the new narrative that they have been pushing for a while, but you can see intensify. I got more of that for you coming right up.
Don't forget to like and subscribe
and hit the notification bell
so we can go to college and get more knowledge.
The 15-minute city. Paris is working towards it, so is Barcelona and Portland, and now Vancouver also has a plan in place.
This is tomorrow morning, and you are brushing your teeth. And at the same time, the city is cleaning itself. Tomorrow, your city will be in your smartphone. You can check the city status, traffic, and air pollution. In the same breath, you will find booking your smart vehicle as easy as ordering food. You'll drink your last sip of coffee and your smart vehicle will already be waiting for you. Tomorrow, your day will get off to a more enjoyable start. As you drive through town, you can check your personal footprint or actively participate in city issues. There is no rush hour in the morning, no waiting, and no traffic jam. Everything is completely connected and communicates with everything else. Tomorrow, your city will have mobility hubs at every corner. Later tomorrow, you are working on your next great idea, while your smart city administration can optimize the city with smart workflows and processes. Everything is in flow. The smart city empties the rubbish bins by itself. It knows where many vehicles are needed and where not. Tomorrow, the air in cities will be clean, and parking spaces will become parks. The entire infrastructure is managed decentrally. Tomorrow, the cities will be safer and more worth living in.
What if we could create a new normal, where we reclaim our time, our health and well-being, and our communities?
This is the idea behind the 15-minute city, a growing movement to make our lives in cities more convenient, less stressful, and more sustainable. A 15-minute city is one where everything we need is close to home, where communities are safe and inclusive.
Hello everyone, meet Lucy, student in psychology. And me, her digital ID wallet issued by the government. I can help governments to better communicate with citizens. Right now, I'm reminding Lucy of the appointment she needs to schedule for her mandatory vaccination.
How'd that sound? Does that sound like something you want for your future? You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy. But critics of this concept of the 15-minute city argue that it can create a deeper limit to freedom of movement and choice and lead to isolation and restriction opportunities and potentially foster a surveillance state reminiscent of George Orwell's 1984. Some people believe that this model of urban planning restricts personal agency, autonomy, and individuality by confining people within a certain radius for most daily activities. Not to mention, you don't own it. Not to mention it's by design. Not to mention that they don't want you to have anything. So ask yourself, who's going to govern these cities? And whoever governs them, where do they get their input from? Where do they get their marketing orders from? So this leads into my next video. This was sent to me from a subscriber, Tori, and I think that it's great to see people's eyes opening to realities that are happening in the financial world, in the technology world, and just in America in general. So after this video, I'm going to tell you what I think about it and share a little bit more perspective.
You can feed your family and all of that, and you finally relax and get a place of balance mentally, emotionally, and you say, blockchain, crypto, tokenization, I could buy Amazon token? Oh my God. By the time you start actually getting into the shit to change your life, you missed it. You missed it by 20 fucking years. And that's the plan. They not gonna let the world burn because they in this motherfucker. They just gonna make sure that your ass burn and not them. And by the time you stop burning, well, bitches, it's too late to do that other thing you was trying to do. What it was, get rich or something like that. I don't know. So yeah, Buddy Manifesto is actually, man, look, the shit get deep, but I don't want to go too far like, I don't know, conspiracy shit, because I don't really know a lot. I'm just trying to speak on what I've seen through articles, research, and just following the news of what the fuck motherfuckers is saying and what they not saying. But yeah, that's what's finna happen. It's not that crypto is a Ponzi scheme, but they know we are literally racing the entire fucking world to be the first to blockchain technology. Because if we don't, America's power as leadership in running this country because of the dollar, oh, that shit's over with. We're literally fighting for our fucking life right now. If BRICS builds the first digital economy based around the blockchain, if they beat us to that, it's over. If we beat them to that, oh, it's over. And whoever get there first, gonna be running, like I said in my other two videos, gonna be running this shit for another 80 to 100 years, just like every system. So yeah, shit is gonna get bad, but it's only gonna get bad because they're not gonna fix this. And also, people don't know about what I just said, so people aren't gonna position themselves by investing in the right shit, buying shit, studying shit, because they're too fucked up mentally and emotionally. That's how they want you. They don't want you calm and perceptive. They want you hysterical and panicky. Yeah, because most of y'all would be drowning in the ocean and wouldn't be able to calm down to let the lifeguard save your life to save your life. And they know that. And that's the goal. So now, I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme. I think that's what they want us to think about the blockchain and cryptocurrency and all of the new emerging technologies in Web3 and in that space. And they might want us to think that because that's going to be your life at some point. And if you focus on it now, shit, too many people might get rich and buy the right shit and hold some shit for 10 years and wake up in 15 years and be a fucking billionaire. We don't need too many more of them. They don't want that. So now in 20 years, a lot of people's story gonna be, man, I made my wealth from 2022 and 24 and shit like that. And the other half gonna be, yeah, from 2020 to goddamn 2030, I was looped it in the bitch, going crazy up here, and I damn near off myself. And then from 2030 to 2040, shit, I was just relaxing and chilling. Then in 2040, I found out about crypto and got into it, and now I'm finna get rich. Yeah, I bet you is. 20 years late to the party. The world done changed. I'm rich. They rich. Shit, and you back wherever the fuck you was in your best era in this system right now. While you was...
Okay, perspective. He's got a good understanding of what's going on, but I really believe he doesn't fully get the concept that everybody's in it together. That the central banks aren't working against us, and they're working against us for sure, but they're not working against each other. They're working with each other and learning how to do CBDCs. They're not working against us. True, they are not trying to allow us to succeed. They are trying to lie to us about the relevance of cryptocurrency. But it's not a race. The race is one. And that's the crypto that I'm always telling everybody about. That I'm going to share a little bit more about in my next video. I think that this is further proof that the groundwork's already been laid. The rails for payments have already been laid. The liquidity hubs are already there, and they already know what to do.
Could I start by just asking you to describe to the committee a little more about what Ripple is? I mean, it's obviously a company. It's been in business for how long? It is now currently handling transactions for banks, other currencies around the world. Could you just give us a little more background as to Ripple?
Sure. So Ripple is a very traditional Silicon Valley-backed, venture capital-backed company. It's raised money from the likes of Google, Andreessen, Horowitz, IDG, the Chinese. Has raised about $30 million in venture capital so far and announced rounds. As I mentioned, there's 95 folks. So it is a company that has mostly engineers working on building this protocol And again, to think about the protocol, if Bitcoin is like one big ledger, where everybody's amount of Bitcoin is in that ledger, Ripple is the same, except the ledger includes every form of currency. So instead of just holding Bitcoin balances or XRP balances, think of it as like one large spreadsheet that everybody can see and everybody can use, but the balances also include fiat currencies. It could also include commodities such as gold and silver. So the part that is like Bitcoin is that there is a distributed ledger. Most of the engineers here are sort of ex-Bitcoiners. It just is that they extended the protocol to include all currencies rather than just simply the Bitcoin. And it also allows the use of market makers, people that are willing to trade from one currency to another to actually operate within the protocol. So that's the big innovation here. Sort of a 2.0 innovation is to allow a distributed ledger, virtual currency, but operating right alongside fiat currency as well.
And how long has the company been in business?
Okay, so here's a perfect example of what I mean by the groundwork's already laid. See, they give you the impression that XRP and Ripple are exchanging cryptocurrencies, but that's not the goal. If you know anything about this company, then you know that it's the internet of everything. They want to exchange everything, and that's why I say that the groundwork's already laid. So the truth is that it's not just about cryptocurrency, it's about every asset class. Here's a picture that can illustrate a little bit better than I can. Bitcoin, Euros, Litecoin, USD, Ethereum, these things all are interoperable through XRP. So regardless of what it is, so when people say things, when he says things like it's a race between who comes, no, it's not. They encourage the euro. Ripple and XRP encourage the euro. They encourage the digital yuan. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you have that. Just understand that you have to go through us to exchange it for anything else. And that's how we're going to hand down the power. America is the financial capital of the world. We're not going to give up power without a fight. It's not even a fight. We're going to give up our global power as position as number one in the world financially, eventually to China, because that's the changing world order. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to control the financial aspect of the new world order. Here's a perfect example of how. Talk amongst yourselves. Let that marinate for a minute. And last but not least, we have Chris Larson's here, giving a little bit more detail on what he does.
I think I want to ask the question, what happens with all the currency that is in the bank? What happens with all of that?
Yeah, so kind of our view is that nothing changes there. So that really all this is doing is it's probably mostly enabling banks themselves to move their existing dollars, euro, whatever currency they're currently using faster, at lower cost, without as much capital, and at more competitive rates. So it very well might be that most consumers never know they're using this technology, no more than they know they're using some of the backbone of the internet that is there, but they don't have to know about it. They just know that suddenly now I can send $20 to my family in India at practically no cost in 5 seconds at the a much better exchange rate than I ever would have gotten. So the banks actually would have new services. The consumer is just happy they're getting a better deal.
So the Bitcoin isn't for a consumer to use?
Yeah, there's a lot of debate around that. I mean, you could certainly, if people want to use that as a store of value, certainly can. I think just like the internet allows you to communicate in any language, I think the internet of value will allow you to trade value in anything of value as you define it.
Okay, last but not least, the last thing I want to show you is about the narrative. Everybody here pushes this narrative online about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. That's one major narrative, but Bitcoin is just the starting point. It doesn't hold any real intrinsic value. Maybe as a store of value if you feel that way, but it's basically worth nothing. 911 services mysteriously go down hours before DHS warns of a potential cyber attack from China. Coincidence? I think not. There's multiple occurrences of cyber attacks happening and attacking our U.S. infrastructure. It's just something to take note of that now I believe that they're poking and prodding us to see what we will do in the event of a large-scale attack. So keep your eyes and ears open, and this could be the narrative point that jumps off. Maybe it's World War III. Maybe it's a cyber attack that causes into reason for the blockchain to keep us safe. Pay attention and listen for this narrative, because I'm telling you it's coming, and nothing is going to change without this narrative.
Stored name to NASCAR. Camaro ZL1. The original Camaro ZL1.
The government warns of cyber attacks using COVID as bait. They're priming us. They're getting us prepared. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.